Imagine one of the absolute best, most dominant defensive forces in the entire NFL suiting up in the star. We are talking about a true game wrecker, a historic pass rusher, and a defensive anchor potentially forcing his way out of his current home and eyeing a massive blockbuster move down south to play for his hometown team. The absolute landscape of the football world is shaking right now because one of the most respected insiders in the game just went on the air and connected this multi-time All-Pro directly to our beloved franchise. Before we dive deep into these mind-blowing trade numbers and break down the rest of our massive roster updates, do me a huge favor. Smash that like button, share this video with your fellow diehard fans, and subscribe to the channel right now so you never miss a single second of breaking team coverage. The man responsible for lighting this entire rumor mill on fire is national NFL insider Albert Breer. During a major sports radio appearance, he openly pushed the idea that the Cleveland Browns need to pull the trigger on a complete, total roster rebuild, and the absolute centerpiece of that teardown is trading away their crown jewel, superstar edge rusher Myles Garrett. Now, let's look at the facts because there is real smoke starting to clear around this situation. Myles Garrett has been noticeably absent from voluntary organized team activities, which isn't completely shocking since he historically skips them, but here is the twist that is making everyone pause. He reportedly has not spoken a single word to the newly appointed head coach Todd Monken. Think about that for a second. If you are the foundational leader and the highest profile player on a franchise, wouldn't you at least pick up the phone to talk to your brand new coach? Rumors are swirling that Garrett was deeply frustrated and unhappy with management's decision to let defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz go instead of elevating him to the head coaching position. On top of that, the front office quietly went in and modified his massive contract earlier this offseason. They took his massive option bonuses that were originally due on the 15th day of the league year and pushed them all the way back to right before the start of the regular season. Why would a team intentionally structure a deal like that unless they were leaving the back door wide open to execute a monumental trade? Do you honestly believe a superstar player would cut off communication with a brand new coaching staff if he was completely happy and planning to stay put long-term? Albert Breer explicitly mentioned our front office as a premium destination for Myles Garrett if the front office in Ohio actually takes his advice and puts him on the trading block. He noted that because Myles Garrett is originally from the area, returning home would have a massive, undeniable appeal to him. The insider even questioned if our front office, having moved on from a massive superstar defender in the past, would be the exact type of aggressive group to aggressively hunt a historic splash like this. Of course, we wouldn't be the only team calling. Powerhouses like the Los Angeles Rams and the Philadelphia Eagles are also expected to be major players in a potential bidding war. This brings us straight to the ultimate question of the day, and I want every single one of you to drop what you're doing and comment below. If the front office called you today, would you give up multiple first-round draft picks to bring Myles Garrett home? Type Y for yes, or type N for no in the comments section right now, and let me know exactly why. Let's look closely at how the financial puzzle pieces actually fit together, because from a salary cap perspective, the timing is everything. Trying to trade him prior to June 1st was a complete compliance nightmare for Ohio, carrying a massive net cap loss of $17 million. But everything completely flips once we cross into June. After June 1st, his dead money drop allows the front office to spread the remaining financial hit into future years, clearing over $8 million in immediate cap savings for this season while saving them from paying that massive upcoming option bonus. Now, look at what the acquiring team would actually inherit on the books. Myles Garrett is owed over $31 million in cash this year, followed by over $41 million in 27, before dipping down to $24 million in 28. But here is the ultimate kicker that should make our front office salivate. Because of how his previous bonuses were structured, his actual salary cap hit for a new team would be a minuscule, unbelievably cheap $9.14 million for this upcoming season. It stays incredibly manageable at $17 million the following year and $21 million the year after that before skyrocketing up to nearly $58 million in the final seasons. Because teams love to push dead money into the future under the assumption that the overall league salary cap will continue to skyrocket, this contract is shockingly tradable and incredibly realistic for us to absorb right now. The single biggest roadblock to making this dream a reality is the astronomical king's ransom it would require to win the sweepstakes. We are talking about an elite, generationally dominant defender who is widely considered the absolute best defensive player in the entire game. His production is straight out of a video game, coming off a mind-boggling historic season where he racked up 33 tackles for loss and 23 sacks. He put up those legendary, unblockable numbers while playing on a struggling unit where every single opposing offensive coordinator entered the week with a game plan solely dedicated to stopping him. Ohio is going to demand a historic trade package. The absolute bare minimum starting point for a conversation would likely be a young, high-upside player like defensive end Donovan Ezeruaku, alongside multiple premium future assets. But with our current draft capital being notoriously light, consisting of just a first, a second, and a third-round pick, it is highly unlikely we could ever win an all-out bidding war against aggressive general managers who possess way more chips to throw into the middle of the table. While it is incredibly fun to fantasize about pairing the most feared edge rusher in football with our defense, the harsh reality is that a deal of this magnitude remains a long shot. But until that next option bonus is officially paid out by Ohio, these Blockbusters rumors are not going away. Shifting gears to official roster news, we have a sudden, unexpected shakeup in the wide receiver room. Veteran wideout Paris Campbell has officially decided to hang up his cleats and call it a career. The former Ohio State standout and second-round draft pick was placed on the reserve retired list by management. This brings an abrupt end to his time with the franchise after a journey that included stops with the Colts, Giants, and an active run where he earned a championship ring with the Philadelphia Eagles. From an on-field impact perspective, this retirement doesn't fundamentally break our offense, as the veteran was facing an uphill battle just to secure a spot on the active roster or the practice squad. What it does do, however, is instantly bump young wideouts like Ryan Flournoy and Jalen Tolbert up the official depth chart while freeing up an incredibly valuable roster spot. It will be fascinating to see if the front office uses this newly opened roster slot to bring in a dynamic, shifty wide receiver who specializes in return upside to spark our special teams unit. Speaking of the upcoming season, the official league preseason schedule has finally been locked in, and we have the exact dates and kickoff times for our 3 summer exhibitions. We kick things off on the road against the Seattle Seahawks on Saturday, August 15th, with a kickoff time set for 10 p.m. Finally, we return home to our own stadium for a massive Friday night showdown against the New Orleans Saints on August 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern. An incredibly unique twist to watch for during training camp is that we will be hosting joint practices with the Saints right before our matchup with the Cardinals, which is highly unusual due to logistical scheduling out in California. We are going to be hosting massive, energetic live watch parties right here for every single one of these games, so make sure you hit that subscription button right now to join the community. To wrap up today's news, superstar quarterback Dak Prescott has officially taken home some hardware, winning the prestigious Professional Football Writers of America Good Guy Award. He makes franchise history as the first player in our team's history to ever win it. This honor is fully dedicated to the player who shows the utmost professionalism, cooperation, and respect to the media while helping them do their daily jobs. Finally, let's talk about some serious undrafted free agent hype that is taking the media by storm. Major sports outlets recently named the single most exciting undrafted free agent signing for all 32 franchises, and instead of choosing highly discussed names, they highlighted former SMU star wide receiver Jordan Hudson as the ultimate diamond in the rough for our roster. He was a steady, high-producing machine at SMU, hauling in 61 catches for 766 yards and 6 touchdowns, highlighted by an absolute masterclass 11-catch performance against Miami. While he is viewed as a developmental project who needs to refine his overall route tree and improve his separation burst, his exceptional body control gives him a legitimate, realistic path to pushing for a roster spot. Do you think a young, physical receiver like Jordan Hudson can defy the odds and survive the final roster cuts? He will face a fierce training camp battle against established targets behind CeeDee Lamb, Kevontae Turpin, and George Pickens. To truly secure a spot on the back end of this roster, Jordan Hudson must prove his worth on special teams, an area where he only played limited snaps during his collegiate career. It is going to be an absolute dogfight to watch all summer long.